There's a new sheriff in town.
My name is Michaela Inez, and I am a writer, traveler, and storyteller. But let's start at the beginning. About 3 years ago, I quit my job in the middle of a school year. I was teaching first grade, and I knew early on in my teaching career that I did not want to be doing it for the rest of my life. And so on April 29, 2022, a girl quit her job with no plan. No plan and no money. I cashed out my itty bitty retirement fund, and really the only plan that I had was to heal, i.e. therapy and hot girl walks. But I quit, and it was truly the beginning of everything, because later into my sabbatical, I decided that I wanted to make a career change, obviously. But I wasn't sure what that was, but somewhere along the way, I landed on developmental editing. And if you don't know what developmental editing is, it's basically a project manager for book writing, organizing plot points and character developments, and overall just helping authors carefully craft their stories to be the things and the books and the stories that we love and hold on to for the rest of our lives. In fact, the idea was perfect. I pursued a master's degree in creative writing. I started an LLC. I created branding. I had even started to market myself, even though the marketing was the most unstrategic, fearful thing you have ever seen in your entire life. But I was at least on my way. I was on my way, and I was trying, or so I thought. Because really, pursuing a career in developmental editing was just the perfect incubator pod for all of my fear of being seen and being perceived. In fact, it's a running joke on the internet of how much people don't want to be perceived. And I was embarrassed that at my big age, I was trying to figure it out once again. But now I'm here. And I'm getting ready to pivot all over again. And now my fear is not just about being seen and being perceived. It's about being seen, changing my mind all over again. When you're a child, no one bats an eye at if one day you wake up and you say, I like dinosaurs. And then an hour later you go, fuck dinosaurs, I like bugs. No one bats an eye. But as soon as you get to high school, suddenly there's this pressure to start locking it in. Lock it in, pick something, pick one thing, maybe two, but pick one thing and stick with it for your entire life. And it's an idea, it's an ideology that I'm still unlearning. And while I'm unlearning, I'll be pivoting. But I'm making this pivot because I owe it to myself to try. Because I know past versions of myself did not work this hard, to go through all that she went through, to give up and settle here. And because I know that with every pivot I make, I get closer and closer to being my true self under all the masking and people pleasing, and I get closer to living the life that I truly want to be living. So this is my official statement, because it's important to be saying things out loud. I will be here on YouTube and on TikTok, documenting my story and my journey of becoming, because for the past year, I've been traveling. A girl has driven from the East Coast to the West Coast, and by the time this video goes live, I will be well on my way, traveling back to the East Coast. Speaking of, where is my Lifetime Achievement Award for driving solo from coast to coast? Where's my ribbon? And I'll be recording most of it so that I have something to look back on, and so I can practice being seen a little more.